This is class 9th Employability Skills Information Technology 402. We are discussing about writing skills today, sentences. Whenever we speak, we use sentences, but we write also and use sentences. First thing, what we have already discussed is that all these sentences in English, the sentences are what? They are combination of words. And all these words, when they are combined, they form some meaning. So the different parts of a sentence are a part of speech. So all the English sentences, we have a subject. Almost all the English sentences, one subject will be there and one verb will be there. But some also have object. Now question comes, that subject and verb we have already known. What is an object? So subject is the person or a thing that does an action. That is, a subject is any person, you and me, or any thing that does certain action. Kriya, it works, sit, eat, like this. So these are the verb associated with subject. So object is a person or a thing that receives the action. Subject is working. What working? Verb. But the subject is working on what? Object. Subject is working on an object. So the object is that thing or that animal, that place, that person on whom this subject is doing action. Divya reads a book. This is an example. So if you look it very closely, Divya is a subject. That is, she is reading a book. Reads means a verb. Action, a book. What is she reading? Object. So the object is what? Whom the action has been done by Divya. So let me tell you again. The subject is a person or a thing that performs an action. For example, this gives you an answer of who or what performed the action. Who performed the action? Subject performed the action. You will find the subject from answering this question, who or what performed the action. If I ask you a question, the verb, that is, what is the action? The verb describes this action. That is, Divya is reading a book. Third question, let me ask you that the who or what received the action? The object here is book. The object is the person or thing that receives the action. Okay? So object receives an action. Let me tell you certain sentences and you'll see here subject, verb and object. So let us take one by one. I ate an apple. I means you are eating. So subject. Ate is an action. Ate, verb. What did you eat? Apple. You ate an apple. He cooked dinner. He is a subject. Cooked is a verb. And dinner, what he ate, what he cooked. Dinner, he cooked dinner. So dinner is object here. She kicked the football. She is a girl, so she is a subject. And verb is kicked. But she kicked what? Football. Football is kicked by whom? So football is the object. Diya and Sanja broke the bottle. Diya and Sanja both are subject here. Broke is todana, breaking. So it's a verb. And the object is the verb. The object, sorry. So this is how we define these. So we talked about object on whom the subject is working. So the object can be direct also and indirect also. Direct and indirect. What are direct objects? The direct objects are the ones directly acted on by the word or verb, action word. So directly action is happening on it, direct object. Let me give you an example. What does Divya read? If you answer in that particular sentences which we discussed, what does Divya read? So reads is the verb. The answer is book. The Divya is reading a book. So now you have a clear object here which has a direct, you can say, implementation of the verb, right? So direct object answers the question what. If you ask what does Divya read? What does Divya read? This is a question. And if I take you back, what does Divya read? A book. So what does Divya read is corresponding to a direct object. Now coming to indirect object, what are the indirect object? If you ask to whom or for whom, to whom or for whom, if you ask a question in a sentence, this answer, the answer of this question will give you indirect object. Abdul gave a gift to his mother. Now see this sentence. Abdul gave a gift to his mother. Now Abdul is a subject, very clear. Gave is an action, verb. Now gift is object, and mother is also an object. Gift is direct, mother is indirect. Okay, so both. If you ask the question simply to whom, for whom, gift was for whom, to whom the gift was given, mother. So now this mother is an indirect object. Okay, there are certain sentences where you will only get direct object. Certain sentences, both direct and indirect objects you are going to get. Abdul gave a gift to his mother. Abdul is subject, gave, verb, gift, direct, mother, indirect. Gift and mother both are objects here. So let us take a few more examples to understand it more. Remember what question and to whom question. Sanjay bought vegetables. Sanjay is the subject, bought is a verb, and the question comes with verb. Verb plus what means bought what? Bought what? The answer of what along with verb, that is bought what? The answer is vegetables. So vegetable is a direct object. Indirect is not there. Fatima and Sonia played tennis. Played is verb. Fatima and Sonia is clearly the subject. Now played what? Played what? Answer this question. Played what? So they played what? Tennis. So tennis is the direct object here. The answer of what is the direct object. Direct gives you the answer of what. Coming to third. He offered me an orange. He is the subject. Offered means he tried to give me or he proposed me. Now offered is verb. Now the question comes verb plus what? Offered what? Offered what? That will be your direct object. Okay? Offered orange. This is the direct object. But if we ask a question, to whom? By whom? To whom? To whom the orange was offered? By whom? To whom? If you along with word you ask, to whom? To whom? For whom? He offered me an orange. So he offered me. So me is the indirect object. Me is the indirect object. The teacher gave us homework. Gave is clearly a verb. Teacher is the subject. Now ask the question. Gave us what? Homework. Homework is the direct object. Homework is the direct object. Now let us ask question with verb. To whom? By whom? To whom the homework was given? To whom? The answer is us. The teacher gave us. So us is the indirect object. Now coming to types of sentences. So types of sentences, two types of sentences. The way we form the sentence, it can be active, it can be passive. So let us see these two sentences. Sanjay broke the glass. Sanjay broke the glass. The glass was broken by Sanjay. The glass was broken by Sanjay. So what do you see here is, what is the Sanjay? Clearly, Sanjay is the subject here in the first sentence. In the second one, the glass is the subject. Verb is what? Broke. Breaking the glass is the verb. Subject has changed. So active means Sanjay is doing an action and the glass was broken by Sanjay. The glass was broken by Sanjay. The subject has changed. The object has become the subject. A subject has become object. When it's passive means we have to see it receives an action. The glass is receiving an action. So sentence where the subject does an action, subject is actually doing some work, the subject can be anything. Okay, it can be individual also, it can be thing also. In passive voice, sentences in which subject receives an action is passive voice. Please understand, the glass was broken by Sanjay. The glass receives an action by Sanjay. Let me give an example. She wrote a letter. She is the subject, wrote is a verb, letter is an object. Okay, now just change the position of subject and object. If you want to convert the active to passive voice, just take the subject and replace it with object. She wrote a letter. So letter, you cannot write letter wrote she. So letter was written by her. Letter was written by her. This is subject. This is object. This is verb. I am saying subject who does the action. Subject is the person or a thing does an action. Letter is an object because it is receiving an action. Verb is an action, kriya. Now just change the position. The passive voice will be, the letter was written by her. Okay, we change the position. This is how I convert it. Passive also. In passive, just change the subject and object. In passive, letter is the subject and her is the object. He opened the letter. He is subject. Open the door. The door was opened by him. Subject object we replaced. Mohan played the flute. Mohan is subject. Flute is the object. Played is the verb. Now change the position. The flute was played by Mohan. The flute was played by Mohan. Active and passive this is. Now, according to the purpose, why we use a sentence, in which way the sentence is being used, there can be different types of sentences. Who broke the bottle? This is a question being asked. Who broke the bottle? So, I'll give you detail of that. First understand, Sanjay broke the bottle. This is just a statement, right? No question, no exclamation. Sanjay broke the bottle. No, I didn't. Now here, there is an emotion involved. There is a feeling involved. No, I did not. So we have an exclamation mark here. So first question plus question mark. Third question, it was not a question, it was an exclamation. Now one more girl is saying, pick up the pieces. This is just a statement. Okay, but she is giving some order. She is giving some, or she is requesting. So these are different kind of sentences depending upon how we use them. What is the purpose of this sentence? First type of sentence is the statement or declarative statement, declarative sentence. If you go to mathematical reasoning or discrete mathematics in future, you will see that these will be statement. Only declarative will be the statement, or assertive will be assertive or declarative. So the most common type of sentences these are, and it will just state certain thing. And I go to the school, I like eating vegetables. These are just statement or assertions, and they end by a full stop, right? And I'll tell you how the things change. Question or interrogative sentence means here the question is being asked. So it ends with a question mark. So there is a question mark. Declarative statement is just an assertion, just a statement, only a period or a full stop. So here you see full stop, and in this example, you see a question mark. So I go to school, the question can be formed, did you go to school? I like eating vegetables, the question can be asked, interrogation, do you like eating vegetables? Now coming to the emotion reaction or exclamatory sentence. You show some emotion, joy, sadness, fear, wonder. Now you use an exclamation mark. I came first in the class. I first came first. So this is a kind of joy somebody is showing. Order or imperative sentence, that is, you are trying to give some order, command, request, or certain advice. So now this can have a period also. In the end, this can have an exclamation also. It can have it. But the order or imperative sentences are what? They are giving order, command, request, or advice. So please remember, it can be a period. So the declarative and imperative, they both end with a full stop. Okay, but the interrogative will always be question mark, exclamatory will always be your exclamation mark. Okay, some imperative sentences can be exclamation also. Now, go to college today. This is a kind of advice being given. Go eat your vegetables. This is also a kind of a advice or a request. Now let us see the other one also. It is very cold. Just a statement. This room is unclean. Just a statement. Now question. How is the weather? Could you help clean this room? Now coming to exclamation. Oh, it's so cold. Now coming to some word. Somebody wants you to do something. Wear your sweater. Go to room. I completed my project. Just a statement. Okay, you have completed your project. There is no question, there is no emotion. I exercise every day. Now question, if you take it as question, did you complete your project? Do you exercise every day? So this is a question. Now coming to emotion, feelings. I completed my project. You are happy that you completed. And if you are giving some order, complete your project. Or some advice, go and exercise today. Paragraphs. What are paragraphs? See, the paragraphs, basically, let me tell you, the basic in English are letters, alphabets. Words are formed by alphabets or letters. Sentences are formed by words, sentences. Then when you combine the sentences and you are giving taking common idea, you take sentence 1, sentence 2, sentence 3, this will be a paragraph. A combination of sentences or paragraph. Okay? So when you have a paragraph, this will give you a common idea. You cannot have unrelated sentences in a paragraph. If you are giving certain idea, if you are giving certain other idea, you have to go to what? Different paragraph. Let us take an example. If you are writing about your school, once you are writing about your school, what will be your first paragraph? The first paragraph can be about what is the name of the school, what is the location, what is the size of the school, that is the strength. This is the first paragraph. Then coming to your second paragraph, that is, what do you like about your school? This can be your second paragraph. Okay, let me tell you here. The first paragraph, these both paragraphs I have combined. Now I'll tell you where I can have two paragraphs. I go to government higher secondary school, Balachari. So the name of the school, there are 100 students, strength, and 7 teachers in my school, strength. The school is on the main road, very close to the city railway station and local hospital. Okay. Now this is your first paragraph. Now you can have two paragraphs out of this. The second paragraph will be in the next line. I love going to school and learning new lessons. My school has a playground where I play cricket with my friends at the end of the day. There is a library also. I borrow one book every week. I love my school. This is your second paragraph. So generally, these are the combination of sentences. In paragraph always, normally we leave certain spaces. We leave some spaces and then we start. Okay, this is just a formal way of writing. If you don't do it, it doesn't matter. But if you do it, it will be good, looking good. And there is certain spaces being left. Now, whatever we have discussed, let us see what we discussed is correct or not. Identify the subject in the sentence. The children played football. The children is the subject here. Football is an object, played is the verb. The children is the subject. A is the answer. Identify the object in the sentence. The children played football. So football is receiving an action. Object receives an action. So football is the object. Which of these sentences have both direct and indirect object? So take the verb, ask the question what? Direct will come. Ask the question to whom, for whom? The indirect object will come. So direct, in verb you have to ask question what? Sanjay bought vegetables. Sanjay bought what? Vegetables. And in indirect, to whom, for whom? Sanjay bought vegetable for her mother. So mother, if the example would have been like this, mother would be indirect object. Let us come to the question here. I am watching TV. So I is subject? No. There is no indirect. He wrote his sister a letter. Now, if you see here, I is the subject, object is TV, and watching is a verb. So we have direct object here. She bought a blue pen, again subject, and here we have direct object. Bought is a verb. The girls played cricket, subject, and object. Played is the verb. Here you see, basically D is the answer, both direct and indirect. He wrote, and what did she write, or what did she write? Or what did he write? Letter is the direct object. For whom? For his sister. So it is the answer. Which of these sentences in the passive voice? So the subject does the action, active. Subject receives an action, that is a passive voice. They are watching TV, it's straightforward. Clock was repaired by Raju. Is sleeping in the room, sleeping room. The pet dog with the postman, this is also direct. So A, C, D are passive. B is the and A, C, D are active. B is passive. The clock was repaired by Raju. So these are short answer question. We have discussed, whole discussion was all on this. So I hope you'll be able to solve this. Okay, this is all about this topic. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.